back when I had that thing.
Frickin' Ona holes everywhere.
Oh, no.
What's an Ona hole?
Oh, my God!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Anime Club After Dark, the podcast that delves into all things anime, manga, and otaku culture related. I'm your host, Alex, but you can call me Senpai. And join me tonight, I have absolutely everyone again. I have our czar of source material, John.
I love you more. Roku ni iwanai.
When are we gonna do a karaoke night,
Dude? Stick to the end. You'll find out. We're gonna do karaoke after this.
We have our poser extraordinaire, Nitai.
I really hoped you're gonna fuck up the intro, but
Well,
I guess my
you
plans
did your best to get me to.
I tried my best. It wasn't much.
And we have our chivalry of Shotaro.
Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet-ass pussy.
Ooh,
Oh my
shit. Damn.
Oh, there goes our monetization out the window ever.
Yes.
We're after dark for a reason.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why I'm even shocked that you would say that by this point. But we have a really interesting topic to get to tonight. But before that, I have an announcement. Guys, good news. We have an affiliate partnership for this podcast now.
We have a what?
We have an affiliate partnership with Blitz Games. Blitz Games, you may ask. What is that? Well, do you
Raid
like BL
Shadow
or Yaoi?
Legends.
Shut up. I'm doing a pitch.
We're doing bits too.
Oh, we did bits.
Do you like BL and Yaoi? I swear to God, I don't actually have a script ready, so I'm actually just gonna read it right off the fucking.
We should make like
site.
a proper script for this shit.
Oh my God,
I
we
will.
should.
Next time, I swear to God, I will have a proper
Show,
script.
do you want to
but,
roleplay?
oh God,
Yeah.
Can I just get through this? John has an hour.
Oh, jeez.
So, Blitz Games is a visual novel creation studio, and they have a game called Camp Buddy. It is as I said, a BL Yaoi visual novel. It features the adventures of Keizero Nagame in a summer scout theme camp called Camp Buddy. At Camp Buddy, Keizero, along with his childhood... Shut up, I'm doing a pitch. Along with his childhood friend, meets his fellow campers, each of them with distinct personalities and stories to be told. It is a visual novel that has multiple character roots, 75 plus hours of gameplay, has over 300 illustrated artworks, an original soundtrack with English voice acting, and over 50 animated edgy scenes. So if this actually does sound like something you might be interested in, check out the links in the description below for how to download it. Each time you actually click on that link and buy it, we get a portion of that sale. So yes, I'm very excited about this. It's like we're at a real thing now. It's like, I don't know. It's exciting.
Okay,
And also, I would like to say, both myself and Sho have played this, and I don't want to speak for you, Sho, but I personally recommend it.
I like how you criticize me for talking about my wet-ass pussy when you just did a sponsorship for some wet-ass pussy.
Some bussy.
Yeah, excuse me, not pussy, bussy.
I have a
Bussy.
question though.
Is
Is there a gangbang bukkake orgy scene at the end?
Yes.
Ah, yes.
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 Oh wait, actually.
Spoilers.
Well, what do you expect?
That's all I needed to know. With a name like Camp Buddy, that's automatically what I thought was going to be the perfect ending. A fucking gangbang bukkake
I
orgy.
mean, that's the only ending.
What a
Yeah.
fucking
Yes.
climax.
Oh,
A snafu climax.
No.
Oh, don't.
and with that, I'd like to
With that,
introduce
let's-
our topic. So, as you can see, we went full degenerate there, and that's one way that we show our support for the fucking anime fandom. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
You tried with that
Yeah, you really tried to
transition,
take over.
but
Good
not
job.
quite, but sure.
No,
We're
but
getting there.
seriously,
We're getting there.
So a couple of weeks ago, we actually did an episode about how all of us got into anime and why we're still here, and this kind of builds off of that. And we want to talk about the different ways that we actually, support and show our different fandoms within the otaku sphere. Obviously, like John was mentioning this before we started. One of the probably biggest ways that a lot of people out there do show support for the things they like is by watching anime on streaming services, and well, it's like that. And there's a whole topic, a separate topic to be talked about how viable that is in actually supporting the industry, which is something we actually might be talking about very soon on this podcast. But it is one way that people do it. I don't know if anyone actually has anything to say on that, or we want to save that for another episode.
It's such a can of worms. It's like, I don't know. There's so much to say about that in itself.
There is. But probably one of the biggest ways that a lot of people within the weeb sphere show their support is through merchandise. And it's not just through, figures and Dakimakuras, but it's also through...
Dakimakuras.
Yes. Hey, don't knock it till you own one, man.
I bought one for a friend. It was a really funny surprise.
I'm sure it was. But probably one of the biggest things, parts of merchandise that people get into first when they become weebs is physical media. So like, Blu-rays, DVDs, actual physical copies of manga or light novels. So I want to ask all of you, I'm assuming that you own at least some of this stuff.
I own
in physical media that you
I own all of it. Like, literally, that 50-foot Gundam in Japan, I did that. That was me.
If you go there, you can actually see John piloting that shit.
Hell yeah.
I like that. I like that picture that they took of it flipping people off. That was funny.
They're just testing out the motor functions of the fingers. But yeah, so it's very funny. My journey into the fandom, my first things that I bought, I'm looking at it right now, actually, the first like anime memorabilia, it's a freaking poster from Clannad, and it came out of a magazine. So some guy at this like weeb store that I went to in Bellevue, he just had these posters for sale, and I was like, yo, what's this one with like Fuko and freaking Nagisa and Kotomi, and then on the back there's Tomoya. Tomoya, yeah, the girl. I don't like her, so she's on the back. That's why I put her against the wall.
Oh, damn.
Wow. That's vaguely sexual, but okay.
But yeah, this is the first thing I bought was a poster, because I didn't want to buy a DVD or anything like that. I didn't really care about it, but it's this poster. And since then, I've added way more posters and like wall scrolls and like other stuff. But I definitely started with decorations before I started with like manga and DVDs and Blu-rays.
Show.
What I bought?
Yeah, like have you bought physical media?
Well, yeah, and I regret every bit of it. Like, okay, my thing is that I don't really like rewatching and rereading, and most, if not all, of the Blu-rays and manga I buy, I've already read/watched, because how else? Like, who buys Blu-rays or manga and then reads them? Like, for the first time.
Fuck off. Like
Who reads a
90%
manga?
of the fan
yeah,
base.
who actually purchased something without knowing what it is first? Like,
Yeah.
if you haven't, I get what you mean, because that was my bit. I was like, well, why would I want this if I've already read it or watched it? But then I wanted it after I read it or watched it, because I was like, oh, I liked it that much that I want to own it. But
Yeah, like, it's more of a collector's thing for me.
Yeah.
More than like a
I have
utility.
bought anime DVDs without actually seeing the show first.
Really?
why?
I have.
And how
That's
did that
how I
turn
watch
out?
Cat Planet Cuties.
Oh, jeez.
It's not a great show, admittedly, but it is how I watched it, because I picked it up at a yard sale for $10.
You thought it was porn. Don't lie.
I might have slightly thought it was hentai.
I knew
God.
it. That's what the cover art looks like.
The cover art is very risque.
Why am I not surprised?
But it was $10 for the entire series. I'm like, that's reasonable. And it was unopened. It was completely unopened, and I got it at a yard sale.
Okay.
But I bought it without having ever seen the show.
Well, you're a
Do you
weirdo.
regret it?
Do I regret it? It's not a great show, but but $10 is $10, man.
Oh, Jesus.
$10.
I was entertained for a few hours.
And
Yeah.
then miserable for the next day.
But
Yeah.
Dude, I wouldn't pay $1 to watch a show I know nothing about and end up hating it, so.
But that's the gamble, though. You could buy something sight unseen and then fucking love it.
That's true. That's a very good point. But I don't know. I feel like show's point is like probably the most common answer for a lot of people. Like,
Yeah, collectors.
you know, it's all just collector stuff.
Yeah. Or, you're like me and you have more money than brains and you buy the entire
Oh
Monogatari
my.
series from Aniplex.
Yeah.
How much was that? What the fuck?
I forget how much it is total off the top of my head. But
I'm
it's
asking
something
because
like,
I know it's Aniplex, so it's probably too much.
it's like $1,300, $1,400 for the
Oh,
entire
no.
series.
Jeez.
I love the Monogatari series.
Like, no, don't get me wrong. I would buy that, but not for that price. No.
The way he said, I would not for that price.
Like I would really I would love to buy it because I love the show and I want to support it, but no.
yeah, like I only bought stuff to like display on a shelf, and then at some point my shelf got full, and I'm like,
Can't
I
buy
don't
anymore.
really-
Done.
I don't really need any more.
That's how I feel. I have all my walls are covered in like stuff now, so I don't have a need to buy any more stuff.
Exactly.
I will say probably the first piece of merchandise I actually bought myself was a VHS tape back in the 90s
Of what?
the original Ghost in the Shell movie.
Yeah, but it's a really good movie, so.
Yeah.
It is a really good movie.
Wait,
You
what
just
about
bought
That's
it
probably
because
the
you want to see them titties.
yes. The opening
You can
sequence.
see titties in that movie.
Yeah, but it's only for like 15 seconds, dude. Like, who cares?
Oh, what a glorious 15
when you're
seconds
when
of-
you're 10, you don't care if it's for 10 milliseconds, man.
Jeez, little perverts. Anyway, Natai, how do you support the industry? Do you buy stuff?
Yeah, actually, like from time to time. Blu-rays and DVDs, not so much because I don't know, never bought any. Although a good friend of mine, while he was overseas, he actually got a glimpse of a Bakano Blu-ray, so he got me that as a present. I still have it. I haven't watched it yet, but still have it.
But you've seen the show, so
No, yeah, I've seen the show, but I haven't like opened the Blu-ray even once.
I would hope you've seen the show as much as you try and goad people into watching it.
But like aside from some figures and stuff, which I'm sure we'll get into later, like I have bought some very few actual like manga and light novels, and that stemmed from pretty much like I own Kizu Monogatari, which I adored the movies, and then I saw it on like online. I was like, yeah, fuck it, I wanna give it a shot. So I bought that just because I wanted to re-experience that story, I guess, but in its original, like, in the source material itself. And same thing goes to Rakugo Shinju. And I went to this store which sells primarily comics, but they have this shelf which is dedicated to manga. And I just happened to see the first volume. I'm like, oh, same thing for Kizu. I absolutely adored the anime and thought to myself, yeah, why not? I mean, A, support the actual release, I guess, and B, just I'm curious about re-experiencing that story in its source material.
And the Vo fan art.
So, like, not a huge collection. I don't buy much, but when I do, it's like pretty much for shows that I already watched and just want to re-experience it in its original form.
That reminds me of me like really loving Re:Zero and then being like, oh, there's a release of the light novel.
Oh, you bought
I
it?
would probably like the light novel. So you know what? I'm gonna buy it and then I'll read it. And I love Re:Zero so much, so I don't mind spending money to invest into this product. So I buy it and I read it, or I attempt to read it, and then I realize that it's utter shit. And I'm like, this is why I do not buy things that I have not already read or watched. Okay? Because it's all shit.
But see,
guess-
you bought into the hype, and you had to find out. I mean, I love the anime. Surely the source material is good.
It's just I'll tell you one thing about like the whole thing with manga light novels. For me, like I know a lot of people can like read them online, or for me it's kind of, in general I don't read much manga, but more than that I just it's really stupid, but I enjoy reading stuff as like a book. Like I hold it in my hands and I like the whole act of actually reading it and flipping through the pages. I just really, there's something like tactile about it that I just really enjoy. So like for me, also purchasing like a manga or a light novel is just, I just, if I like Berserk, I would really want to like continue reading that, but I'm sure I would enjoy it way more if I just purchased the books themselves. Just read through them like that instead of reading them
I
online.
would really like to continue reading Berserk too, if only the manga would get off his fucking ass and finish it.
I mean, true.
Hey man, 3 chapters a year? That's not that bad.
Easy.
Better than 0 a year, man.
You say that, but the year an Idolmaster game comes out, it's 0.
I mean, at least it's not Hunter x Hunter, which is 0 a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, 0
fair.
chapters a year. That's gonna end up like High School of the Dead. The manga is gonna die before
No.
it gets
Yeah.
finished.
Oh no.
Don't say that.
How morbid. But yeah, I like the smell of new books. But it pisses me off when there's like a 2 page like spread, and then I literally can't see it because there's a binding in the middle. I'm like, why?
Oh, you mean like for the illustrations
Why?
or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
See, I like having digital versions of it because I like reading things on my phone, man, and carry it everywhere with me. But I still buy
Dirty
like I
Mobile
know.
zoomer.
Fucking Gen Z scrub.
You know what? Shit, aren't you younger than me? Hold on now. No, it's like I still buy the merch though. Like I have all the volumes of Overlord and I buy things I like. I would prefer to have a handy backlit thing that I can carry everywhere and read at the fucking on my hand. Like what the fuck, dude?
See, I don't mind that. I do prefer like physical books with pages myself, mostly because I'm an old fart.
Oh.
But I don't mind reading digitally either, but I have to have something larger than a phone. I gotta have a tablet or like an e-reader or something. I gotta have a bigger screen than just a phone.
I like to read stuff on my iPad, mostly because, like, girl, you think I have the wrist strength to hold up a book? No. We need to plop the iPad down and I can sit down and read it. Okay.
I've seen how you abuse your iPad, sir.
Huh?
No, I've been on calls with him where he's just throwing his fucking iPad around.
Yeah,
like
because
he's
I can't
boxing
hold
with
it. It's so heavy.
I'm shocked that it even has a screen at this point. As many times I've heard it fall on the floor.
That's like, it's not the point of the phone or like a tablet. You just like fling it around. That's why you buy a case for it.
Oh god.
But yes, Natai.
No, I was just. I'm sure that for a show, it's very hard to read with his phone because after a while when you're holding on to that and just jerking off to your doujinshis, it becomes a bit tiring.
My phone.
Oh my god. I don't.
Who
Yeah, you
reads
can only hold that
doujinshi
up
on
with
their
one arm.
phone?
When you're jerking it in the middle of the night, dude. Come on.
Or when you're in the public bathroom saying, what?
I've never
Don't.
read a doujinshi on my phone. I don't understand how you can read a manga on your phone. Like, how do you
mean, I
read
do.
it? It's so tiny.
I
Listen, girl, I need to get
don't
my
have any
grandma
other
glasses.
choice, I guess?
Get my
Yeah, you
grandma
need some
glasses
glasses,
on.
dude.
All right,
Okay.
so you can never, after this, you can never joke about me being an old fart ever again.
It's not a joke.
How does this work?
It's just the
What?
truth.
What is the phone?
Yeah, I don't have any problems that you guys are describing with my phone because I lay in bed and I'll see, just move to the side. Now you can read sideways while you're laying on your side. Zero freaking hurt your arms. I don't understand how you guys can't do this.
Oh, I can. I
can,
prefer
but-
not to.
Yeah,
I-
exactly.
well,
like
I have an iPad, so why would I use a phone?
I mean,
Because it tires
it's
you.
yeah, like you just said, you can't hold it
You
up.
just
What?
said.
No, but it has a stand. It holds itself up.
Yeah, but what if you wanted to lay down on your
Yeah.
side?
I lay down on my side and I put it on the stand. That's
Ah, shit. Good point.
See, you didn't think this through, John. There are
didn't.
multiple ways people can stand shit up.
Well, but it's so big and bulky. I don't understand how you would be able to, like, how would that be? Whatever. It doesn't matter. We don't need to discuss the logistics of whether you should use an iPad, read it on.
Welcome to the logistics cast, everyone.
Yeah. We're getting off topic here, guys. Come on. Bring it back in. Bring it back
Man,
in.
we left the train. Like, what
Yeah, I know. So we've sort of hinted at it that there's more than just, manga and DVDs and Blu-rays that we all have. So what are the kinds of merchandise that you guys buy? Because, like, for me, if you come into... John knows, because he's seen the shit that I have, because he's been to my house back when I had that thing.
Frickin' Ona holes everywhere.
Oh,
no.
What's it on a hole?
Oh my god!
That's the clip. That's the clip that goes at the beginning of this episode.
Come on, lay it on me.
You don't want that
Well.
laid on you.
Do you not know what an Ona hole is? Seriously.
I'm not joking.
Okay, when a man loves his 2D
Oh,
wife.
God. You know what a
Oh.
fleshlight is? Have you ever seen a fleshlight?
Yes.
That's basically what it is.
Except, like, Ona holes can be something as small as, like, a fleshlight or something, like, the size of, like, the Tenga whatever thingy. Tenga
Wait,
egg.
what?
They have so many. Welcome to the John Cast, where I describe and rate different sex toys for your pleasure.
Oh.
Wait. Why is it a flashlight? What?
So an Ona hole can be a fleshlight, or it could be like something that just looks like a tube. All right, it's a masturbatory. Is that a
You
word?
shove it up your ass? What
Yes.
are you going at? Oh.
It's a
No.
it's something you use to masturbate, right? And an Ona hole can also just be like sometimes they'll be figured and they'll have like a butt and it'll be like thighs or like
YouTube's gonna love this episode.
Oh, YouTube.
Oh.
YouTube. Fuck that, man. Hi, here's Wubby. Wubby is gonna describe this $10,000 sex doll. Okay, please donate. YouTube doesn't pay us money.
What is happening?
Okay. So like, I'm just trying to form like a picture of this.
It's a fleshlight.
That's hi, I will
with
tell
a
you about the birds
vagina
and the
at
bees
the
after
entrance.
this episode.
It's just a fleshlight. We'll keep it simple. It's something you
Okay.
stick your
Oh.
dick in to help you masturbate. Okay.
I'm tempted to ask Alex to just send the picture, but I'm
Oh
worried
god.
about-
Do you really
Yeah.
want to see that?
No. Actually, now that I said it out loud, maybe. No.
You know the funniest thing is now it's canon that there's Ona holes everywhere in Alex's house, even though I fucking lied, and that's not true.
You might not have known it to be true, but it might actually be true.
That's true. I didn't go to your
Oh.
sex dungeon.
I don't have the house anymore either. I have an apartment, but John can confirm that I own probably way too many figures.
Not enough. Not enough. There can
Although you own quite a few figures yourself.
yeah, so I never bought any figures for my birthday / Christmas because it's around the same time. One of my friends gave me a Miku Nendoroid, and then it
Ooh.
all started to go downhill. Now I have so
no.
many.
I know we're digressing again, but sell me on androids because those things never appealed to me even one bit.
Yeah, I hate them.
I
don't get it.
I can't sell them on you because I only own one, and it's because it's holo.
Oh god.
I like cute small chibi things. Like that's literally what they are. Cute chibi characters.
Doesn't it have too many parts though? Doesn't that?
No, a Nendoroid doesn't. Well, yes, there are customization things, but you just choose. You just fucking. It's like Gunpla, okay? I fucking love Gunpla, alright? But if you've ever had to assemble a fucking Gunpla, and they're ones who, especially the ones who aren't fucking painted yet, it's a fucking pain in the ass. But the achievement you feel afterward feels really nice because it's like, hey, I had some part in making this how I wanted it to look, and this is what I like. Okay?
And then you look around and you wonder why you're alone.
Aw.
Savage. Yeah, I don't
I'm
have.
sorry, that was a really dick thing.
I
for
don't
me
have
to
the
say.
patience to construct things myself. I don't have the patience to even hold up a book, so I'm gonna buy
Fair point.
pre-painted figures. Okay.
Okay, fair point. But it's, again, and this is why we're talking about this, because different types of fucking weebs do different things that they like doing that shows their love or support of their fandom, right?
See, the
Different
thing,
strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
the thing about figures is it can be such a rabbit hole because you buy one and you're like, oh, this is
Yeah.
cool, and then you see another one, it's like, that's cool, I should get that, and then before long there's 80 fucking of them in your house.
So let me tell you about that especially, because so when
Story
I've
time.
when I've been to Berlin, so went to Comic-Con, great experience, had a really wonderful time, and then I saw this fucking Josuke figure, and it's beautiful, and I was like, ooh, I want it, I really want it, so I bought it. The price was alright, but ever since then, anytime like we'll have these calls, like, outside of recording, and we'll talk about figures, and then I'll just go to these websites and I'll see all of these different JoJo figures. Like, shit, now I need the whole set. I need all 8 of them. No, fuck, but this one's cost too much. And that whole fucking thing, once you buy one, you just have this, like, at least to me, I have this urge that I'm like, but if I'll get, I need that journal. I just want that Italian boy on my desk looking at me, but fuck, maybe I'll get Jotaro as well, because that's a pretty good price. I'll get Jonathan as well, because why not?
It's
like,
oh man, I used to make fun of like old ladies that had the porcelain figures or dolls in their house, and I'm becoming that.
Yeah,
very
it's
thing.
like one day I'll have all the JoJos, and I'll be that old lady with just figures all around me,
And then your grandkids will come over one day and be like, Grandpa, why do you have so many buff men?
No, they'll be like,
surrounding your
Grandpa.
house?"
No, they'll be like, Grandpa, why not just throw these to the trash? And I'll be like, Daga Kodowaru! I refuse!
No.
No!
But I mean, that's obviously not the only like merchandise you can buy, because like at conventions, which is something we're going to talk about next, there's a lot of independent artists that'll go there and sell like art based on anime and manga. Do any of you own any of that kind of stuff too? Because that's like a big part of a lot of conventions nowadays.
You talking about like Artist Valley and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, honey.
I love that. Yeah.
I bought way too much of that.
I know, because I bought some of it off you.
Girl, I have so much. I could start my own store, honey. I could resell. I could buy used. I could refund. Honey, hit me up. But like, I got so much that I actually bought a like art-sized binder. Like,
I remember
really
that.
big.
Yeah,
one.
you brought it to Anime Expo.
I remember that.
Yeah, because like this, how are you supposed to store them if you like? Okay, at first I started putting them up, but that got like really messy because it messed up the walls and it messed up the actual thing. So I'm like, how am I supposed to keep these in like a sustainable fashion? And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just get this binder. So I have this really nerdy, fucking bulky ass binder where I put all my fucking prints in. It's pretty embarrassing, honestly.
Just walk around the convention
Hakusho
center
logo on it or something like that.
Huh?
Does the binder have something like Yu Yu Hakusho logo or something like that?
No, it's
One
like
of
a
these binders?
professional grade binder. Like,
No, I've
okay.
seen
that
this
you,
thing.
like,
It's like
you know,
legit.
like real estate agents or like art
Yeah.
majors use. Like they like open up the binder. It's like, this is my work. Look through it. Yeah, that's the kind of binder I have.
I can picture him walking around like a convention center in a trench coat with that thing underneath and just flashing people like, "Hey, you want some haiku? I got haiku. I got haiku illustrations here, man."
What are you buying?
And can we talk about the struggle of getting prints from the convention center home without damaging them? Because that is a real
Oh
struggle.
my God.
That is the real struggle.
Actually, it's not just that. It's just getting anything home from a convention center that you buy undamaged.
But especially prints, because they're just like flipping around everywhere. Like, oh my God. Like you bump into one person and bam, ripped, done.
The giant fold
Yeah.
down the middle
At
of
least,
it now.
at least you didn't have to put your Dakimakura inside your fucking suitcase. And then when it went through security, they were like,
This guy fucks
Did
the
that
doc,
actually happen to you?
And like at the time I was going with my girlfriend, they just gave me that fucking stare while like putting the suitcase in the security thing. I was like, I don't know what to say, dude. It is what it is.
Oh my
Fucking
god.
degenerate.
Yeah, it's like it is. It's not for me.
I'm so grateful.
It's a present. I promise. It's a present. It's
Uh
not
huh.
for me.
Totally.
Yeah.
I
Sure.
I saw. Speaking of Dakimakuras, I saw remember, you know that was it like
Mia.
the Mia one that's like 80 fucking feet long or however
Oh
long
my
it is.
god.
What?
From Monster Musume, the snake girl from Monster Musume.
Oh no.
There's one that's like super long,
Yeah,
and
it's
it's like
Oh.
it's like $400 or
It
something.
was no, dude. It was like fucking 650.
Yeah, whatever. It was very expensive, very long, and very unwieldy.
How much
And
was it?
I was at Anime Expo back in 2017, and I saw one that was for sale somewhere, and I thought about it for a long time.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was
thought about
it was a 1-for-1 scale Daki of Mia, and
Oh, actually, shit.
yeah, it's like it's just a fucking long pillow. First of
That
all,
sounds
I have a
terrifying.
Daki. I have a Daki, but I didn't buy it. Someone bought it for me, and it's wonderful.
Is it
I-
Miku?
Yes.
That guilty admission.
Dude, have you seen my room? It's all half Miku. Like, anyway, but yeah, I don't. Supporting artists and stuff is important because not only because so a lot of the prints that I bought from Artist Alley are from people who are on Pixiv, right? But obviously they're not going to travel all the way to the U.S. to try to sell shit at Anime Expo or shit like that. Some people do. Some of the more
Yeah.
renowned and famous ones do, but it just helps show support more for the industry, and also, you know, people are artists, they should be paid for their work. And I also have a collection of certain artists that I was like, this person is fucking amazing at this art. I like their version of it, and you know, it shows that I like this fandom or whatever anime this game is from or whatever, and it helps support other people who like doing this shit. It's a full circle, man. A self-sustaining economy.
It's also worth pointing out that anime studios and production committees typically don't like penalize these artists who do this, because it's essentially fan art is what it is, and it is technically copyright infringement, but these studios kind of turn a blind eye to it because they know in the end it helps them.
Yeah, because the more I have merchandise of something I want to collect, the more someone obviously is willing to put into your anime or your whatever source that you're trying to sell to people.
Yeah,
I know.
And some of these artists that like you say are on Pixiv and go to these conventions and such and sell their artwork, they end up getting picked up by like studios to do work, and it's nice.
Yeah, man. We got to support the industry like in any way that we can. And it's just how it is. Like, sure, when you go to conventions, there's a lot of people just hawking stuff you could buy off of Amazon, right? Like, I picked up a couple figures that they ran out of at MegaCon that I was like, oh shit, well, I need the I think I bought Hachikuji. No, I bought Shinobu, but they didn't have the Hachikuji that went with the Shinobu, so I bought it off of Amazon instead, so I could have the complete set. But like, it's just what you do, man. When you like something like this, you show your support, and you know, there's not really a way to gauge how much you like a fandom. Like, you don't have to be like Alex spending thousands of dollars on Aniplex DVDs to be like, oh,
it's
yeah,
probably best if you don't be like me.
I'm a true Monogatari fan because I spent all this, or I'm the one who paid $1,700 for the 7/8 scale of Hanakawa. Like, no.
Oh, I wish.
And you went to
I-
literally
actually, I-
every
you know, you say
screening
that-
of Kizumonogatari
yeah.
in the U.S.
No, I did drive for the Kisa Monogatari screenings. I did drive over 3 hours each way
Oh,
to go see
Alex.
them, though.
Yeah, but that's just part of, you know, like, to us, obviously, anime and otaku shit, it's a hobby, right? But, you know, it's something we're passionate about. When you're passionate about something, you don't really care about the cost. You just care about, this is something I like doing, and I'm going to continue to do whatever I want in whatever, spend money, or maybe you just want to watch it, you know, like, because for a long time, I was just someone who read and watched stuff. I didn't collect anything. And then I started collecting things, and some days I regret it, because I'm like,
Now
wow.
you can't stop.
Well, go ahead, Joe.
I think there's like a lot of community pressure to like buy Blu-rays and manga and figures and like have a collection. And I don't entirely know if that's a good thing. Well, I guess it's good because like, yeah, when I was starting like getting into anime, I was perfectly fine like watching and reading, but like there was pressure from the community to like get a collection. And then that's mostly what made me get the collection, which I guess is good for the industry. But I mean, I don't really like looking back. I kind of regret it because I don't like, what am I supposed to do with this collection?
Right.
I feel like it kind of like in this community, especially like this whole like support thing, it kind of stems from the fact that it's kind of wonky and hard to actually support the artist who's responsible for the shows we love, because it's not like okay, I'm gonna go to a store or just digitally buy like this game that I really want to play, and that's it. For the most part, like, I'm simplifying things, but like in the anime industry, it's kind of when you buy a show, like I'm not sure how much of that is going to the actual animator who's actually animated the show. Like in this industry especially, it's kind of wonky. So like we try to find different avenues to actually support the artists we love for making the shows we love. For example, like the Trigger Patreon, I guess.
Well, I was gonna say a good analogy is something like Disney. As much as it may be a shitty company, I know I'm going to use it as an example. So like if you go out and buy a Blu-ray of fucking, I don't know, The Lion King,
Frozen 2,
or that too. That money goes to Disney, and then Disney will take all that money that they earn from Blu-ray sales and theme park admissions and shit, and they'll pay their animators with it. They'll also pay a bunch of other people with it. But it's a direct line from A to B to C. With the anime industry, when you buy like a Blu-ray of, say, Attack on Titan, because that's a really popular show, there's no guarantee that any of that money is actually going to funnel down to the animators that even worked on the show. Especially
with that example, like we talked about it before, but that's like a perfect example. Like Studio Weed isn't getting shit money from these Blu-rays because that's their contract. They're freelancers.
They're getting something like the equivalent of 25 cents for every sale. I'm like, okay, that's great. That's gonna keep the light on for like 83 seconds.
Every sale of a Blu-ray?
Wait, is that like actual numbers?
I forget the actual number,
okay.
but I've seen actual numbers, and it's a pittance.
It's
basically
miserable, yeah.
Wow.
It's not enough to even justify making the fucking Blu-ray.
Sad.
Which is sad. And there's again, this is something, I don't want to derail this conversation too much. It's something for another episode, but it's a multifaceted problem that the money in the anime industry does not go from consumer to studio to animator, and that's a huge problem.
Yeah,
and that's the hardest thing to figure out, is like, how am I actually supporting the industry by buying stuff that looks legit,
or watching streams through like Crunchyroll or like all the small
Funimation
things.
or whatever.
It's really that's definitely the topic for a different podcast that may or may not happen tomorrow. But
maybe. But I do want to move on, because we have talked about conventions, and I want to talk about those, because that is another big way that people like to not only show their fandom, but get together and celebrate their fandom together. So first of all, I want to ask, because we all of us live in very different parts of the world. What are the conventions that you guys go to on a regular basis, or a somewhat regular basis, considering what's going on in the world right now?
I've only been to 3 conventions, right? Yeah, was that correct? Yeah, 3. And I've only gone 3 times total. I went to SoccerCon here in Washington. I went to MegaCon. Is that what we went to in Florida?
MetroCon
in Tampa. And then obviously Anime Expo with you guys a couple of years ago. Sans Natai. But and
one day
my first exposure was, god damn, I fucking hate weebs, man.
How sweaty was it?
Very.
So, I guess you can also count that I've been to PAX and other like gaming conventions, not anime conventions,
not strictly anime conventions,
just nerd culture stuff like fucking Emerald City Comic Con, shit like that. But my first exposure was SoccerCon. And all I could think about was like, man, these guys are fucking degenerate scum. Look at these fuckers like doing like kawaii kya, like broken Japanese like weeb shit. I'm just like, like, you are the people that make us look bad, and that was my first reaction. Okay, please don't get mad at me because, you know, I was a normie back then, if you want to consider it that, even though I watched a shitload of anime, but I didn't collect anything yet. And as time has progressed and as I've gone to more conventions, I've realized like that's just part of the culture. Like it seems super cringy when you're on the outside, but when you're on the inside, it's about just being who you want to be. Like, you like these shows, you like throwing quotes out, you like role playing, you like doing this and that. And it's super fun. Like, let go of all that other shit and be like, you know, just let people live and let them do their own shit. Like, sure, there are some people who literally busting out the fucking Yu-Gi-Oh cards every second they get and
show
and fucking like, I sacrifice so I play Mad Cow, which gives me 4. Like, there's people like that, but it gets like, I guess, more depraved. The longer you're in it, you become more depraved and you get into this like into the mindset and you become a degenerate, and it's fine.
I am curious about one thing because of, you know, COVID and everything, there haven't been many conventions at all going on throughout 2020. And something that's happened between, you know, the end of last year and now is there have been 2 very, well, one very successful and one moderately successful furry anime. And I dread what I'm going to see when I actually go back to an anime convention next year.
I mean, yeah, something about anime conventions just draws out all the degenerates from like all 4 corners of the fucking world. Like, it's very surreal to be in it because, for one thing, you're like, you know, this is weird. Like, why the fuck are you ooh nuzzles your furry cock? Like, what the shit? Oh, whoa, what's this?
I like to think that it's going back full circle because back in like the mid 2000s we had things like glomping and yaoi paddles and just a lot of inappropriate, unconsensual touching.
I don't know what any of that means still, but yeah, it's
be thankful.
I'd say my first time at the convention, I enjoyed it because I finally were with people who were like-minded. Like, we'd be standing in line for a panel and then someone would be discussing something in it and I could hop in and talk about this topic because it's like, yo, you're talking about this anime? Yo, I like this part. Oh, remember this scene? You know, and it's like you meet people who you feel like you've been friends forever because you share a common interest, right?
That's my favorite part about anime convention or just conventions in general is that you actually get to meet people who are like-minded and you already have like a common starting point so you can actually get in on a lot of the conversations.
Yeah. And it's fun to just exchange opinions about shows. Like, well, as long as you're not those uppity, well, actually, you know, one of those types.
Yeah, don't be that person. I will say though, if you are like a shy person and you like anime, like go to a convention and don't be afraid to socialize because you already have a common starting point, a common frame of reference to start conversations with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of shy people, I'm like such an introvert and like don't like talking to people, which is why I don't particularly like conventions because, you know, people. Ew. But yeah, I mean,
Fucking gross.
the conventions I've been to were like pretty good, but mostly awkward. Like, there's a lot of times in conventions when it's just super awkward. Like, especially at like panels. So many panels I've been to have been like, what the hell is going on? This is so awkward and weird. But I guess that's what John was talking about. Is like the whole fucking community is just an awkward fucking knot of weird people.
Well, I mean, when you look at your typical like weeb, of course we shouldn't stereotype here, but a lot of them are just socially awkward people, right? And it's hard for them to connect in a like normal sense. So when you put them all together in a room and they all have to share a common interest, like it just all comes out, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like it because I can just walk up and start conversations with anyone. So you live in Canada.
Uh-huh.
So I know there's 2 different conventions I think you've been to, right?
Yeah.
There's one in Toronto and one in Quebec.
Yeah, I've been to Anime North in Toronto and Otaku Dawn, question mark in Montreal.
Montreal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the one in Montreal is the one I went to first, which is surprising, but you know, if the first time you have to go big, so I like went on the train all the way to Montreal. I think that was my first time in Montreal, which I did not even go to see the city because why would I do that when
It's a shame. It's a very pretty city.
But also, like, yeah, I don't really like going, like, sightseeing by myself. It's so boring. I want to be, like, with people. But also, I hate people. So don't come talk to me.
So what you want is you want to go sightseeing with people you already know.
Exactly. It's the best of both worlds. Like, I don't have to get to know you, but also you can keep me company. See, I just want the easy way out. But anyways, yeah, the Montreal convention was, like, since it was my first one, I was like sensory overload from all the crazy stuff. And for some reason, Montreal had some really good guests. So that was amazing. There was like this concert by Rookies is Punked, which I was like, wow, how did you come all the way to Montreal? And amazing. There's all this great cosplay. No one spoke English, so I didn't have to get into awkward conversations.
Parlez-vous français?
Voulez-vous
No.
coucher avec moi ce soir?
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, there was like so much crazy stuff, and it was a good experience. But yeah, like
That's
there's
a good analogy. You said sensory overload. For the first time you go to a convention, that's exactly what it's going to be. No matter whether it's a smaller convention or something that's enormous like Anime Expo.
Well, because conventions have a shitload of fucking things to do, okay? Like,
Yeah.
you've got your official, like, merch hall where, like, companies, like, Good Smile, for example, shows up and they're selling a bunch of shit. And they have a bunch of booths for different companies, like KyoAni
And
might be
independent
there.
sellers, too.
Yeah. And then, on top of that, you have Artist Alley, where, you know, fans who do fan shit are there. And then you've got, like, so many different panels and different activities. There's people who come to do talks. There's studios that might come to do interviews. There's voice actors, actresses. There's signing events. There's
Workshops.
There's premieres. There's gaming stuff. There's so many things to do. And it is kind of like, like that sensory overload. Because you're like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know how long this takes. What should I do? Like, because Anime Expo was like that. Anime Expo, I liked it because there was a lot to do, but I hated it because there's too much things to do.
you need a like plan, and you need to go.
Like,
No
it's
time to rest.
Yeah, it's like, am I even having
That sounds
fun at this
intense, though.
point?
This is not fun. This is your job.
Yeah, you've got a strict deadline to meet, and like, all right, well, this panel starts here. It's gonna be a huge line. You gotta line up a certain amount of
Yeah.
time beforehand to even get a guaranteed seat. Like,
Big
we fucking
advice.
for
That's one thing you got to be prepared for at conventions. You're going to be in line a lot.
yeah, invest in camper chairs or like those
Oh
little
my god.
those
Camper
shut up. I have one. I bought it during PAX,
okay.
You could have used Alex.
Wow.
but okay,
My name is not Shaltier, okay?
okay.
But yeah,
Shout
big
chair.
advice if you're going to a con, plan out what you're going to do.
Water.
Because if you just drift around, you ain't gonna get shit done.
Yeah,
Look
because-
at the
yeah.
schedule, see what you want, and manage what you're doing, because otherwise nothing's happening.
Yeah, that's the best advice I can give. Like, make a plan and only plan like 3 or 4 things a day, and then only actually expect to do 2 of those.
Well, I think that would depend on the size of the convention. If we're talking like
That's true.
Anime Expo, because of how big it is, yeah, you're only gonna be able to go to like maybe 6 at the most, like activities.
Especially if you can't even get in the doors.
Yeah, oh
Yeah,
god. that was-
yeah, with Anime Expo, that's a huge problem.
But in the smaller convention, like a 30-minute time window, like for SoccerCon, giving me a 30-minute time window to get from one panel to another, that's fine. Like I could make it, you know, because the panels aren't that huge. It depends. Like, again, I remember when I went, we had a live band. So SoccerCon's gimmick is that every year they usually have a live band from Japan. The year that I went, Bandmade showed up, and I was like, oh, who's Bandmade? It's just a group of girls who play rock music in maid outfits, and that's their shtick. But it was awesome. They play really good music, and like that was the big event. And that one I did have to line up. I believe we lined up 45 minutes ahead of time, and we made it in like halfway through capacity, so it wasn't too bad. But like Anime Expo, like fuck man, we were waiting in line for like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah, and for some panels, especially for any panel involving like, you know, a big anime studio or a premiere, if you don't show up 2 hours, at least 2 hours before the panel and line up, you're not getting in.
Oh yeah, like the Tokyo Ghoul live action premiere
Oh my god.
was like, if you didn't line up, I think it was a minimum of 2.5 hours in advance, you did not get in.
Yeah, I really wanted to
What
watch
the
that,
fuck?
but I didn't know you had to line up like the whole fucking day ahead.
Yeah, it's
I think when
nuts,
the
dude.
the big thing when we went, I mean that was a big deal too, but I think probably the biggest thing when we went to Anime Expo back in 2017 was the Violet Evergarden premiere, the first episode.
yeah.
We lined up almost 3 hours and 45 minutes before that panel, and like very shortly after we got in line is when the line filled up.
Yeah, it was, and that's, you know, that's how conventions are. But you know, that's part of the culture, right? Like just being able to experience things firsthand. Plus, we got to see Violet Evergarden's first episode, like what, 6 months before it premiered, right?
We got to see it before people in Japan got to see it.
Yeah, that's, you know, you get to do cool shit like that, which is part of why conventions are fun, or they can be fun, because you get to do things that you normally wouldn't be able to do, because we don't have things like that here in the US like you would have in Japan, where you have multiple merch options, and you know, you have to travel all this way to do shit like that.
Yeah.
That's
and
like you guys talk about. No, sorry to.
I was gonna lead in actually talking to you, Natai, because I was curious. You live in the Middle East, so I'm curious as to what conventions are even like in the Middle East.
Yeah, like I was going to say that you guys talk about like all of these panels and not having that much time, and you need to plan out your day, and like I don't have any of that shit. Like, and for the worst, honestly. And here in Israel, like we have, I guess there are like 2 conventions like that are worth mentioning. The thing is, it's in the same place. It's just different time of year. There's HaruCon, which takes place around Passover, and then we have Icon, which takes place during the fall, I think. And it's very small, very to some extent intimate, I guess. But unlike what you describe of your conventions, it's basically like the way to go is grab some of your friends and you just drift around. It's like, oh, I guess this booth looks nice. They sell some shit that looks cool, and that's pretty much it. I mean, there are some events, but it's not too organized. It's kind of it's just okay, you know. The thing that is like fun, and that's in general the thing that I really enjoy in conventions, is just the fucking weird shit that sometimes you see. Like, I don't know about you guys, but like the walk towards the convention center is always fun, just to see random things happening like near it. There is this one video, I think that was from AX, of a guy just filming this Saitama dude just driving on a scooter towards the AX center.
I remember that.
I love that shit. But yeah, here in Israel, conventions, like we have those, but it's like, it's okay. When I went to Berlin, the Comic-Con over there, that was better. It was way bigger, and they had an artist alley, which we don't have. I don't think we have here in Israel in any of the conventions, surprisingly. But yeah, Artist Alley was a lot of fun, and they had actual guests coming up. Like I met Philip Boyd, and which was really fun in Berlin. It's the guy from Lord of the Rings. But yeah, but even then, it's not like they had any panels there at Comic-Con. So that whole experience of like you guys talking about going to see Violet Evergarden or lining up to see in Tokyo Ghoul, or I mean, I've seen people talk about like panels like. I think it was a trigger panel where people got to like ask questions and to Imaishi and stuff. That whole thing sounds amazing, and I mean I'd love that, but we don't really have that here, unfortunately. Like,
I got to meet Hiroyuki Imaishi last year.
Yeah, which sounds amazing. Like,
and I mean, it was amazing because he fucking. I had a art book that I wanted him to sign. It was from Gridman, and he saw it. He's like, oh, "Gridman, Sugoi."
Yeah, and it's like those type of interactions are, you know, there's so many little things at anime conventions. Like it's something like just meeting an artist director that you really like, or an actual anime director, or voice actresses and voice actors as well. VAs. There we go. It's so hard to describe because on one side it shows, right, like it's fucking terrible because all these people are there. It's loud.
It's very intimidating.
There's so many things where you're just like, ugh, fucking weebs. But then there's all those other small things where you're just like, you get to meet someone and they're just like, oh, hey, thanks for supporting the industry. And you're like, yes, Miss Monochrome.
Sense of community, right?
Oh my god.
Yo, the Miss Monochrome live.
That was an experience.
Oh, that was amazing. Hot-chan. And we should have went down to that fucking... Anyway.
I love how, like, she did a concert and then everybody was, like, doing this, like, formation with their glow sticks, which I was not doing because I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. And then...
Wait, who is that?
Who was
Yui
that?
Horii.
Yui Horii.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hot-chan.
okay, I didn't catch that.
And then
Hanekawa.
after the whole concert, she's like, I saw everyone who was not doing the glow sticks formation, and I remember.
She's calling you out.
And I'm like,
Yui
okay,
Horii
girl,
is
okay.
calling you out.
Yeah, like when I went to my first Miku concert, like they gave us free glow sticks, like the little snap and break and shake glow sticks, and you just like you vibe to the beat, man. Like hut, you know, like it's just. It's so fun, man. Like being in a group of people who have the same interests as you and like the same stuff. It's just fun because you get to actually be yourself. You know, you don't have to fucking act out and then people are like, oh, that's fucking weird. Like I remember I used to do that in high school where I'd act out some like video game animation with my friends because we were playing a game and, you know, it was a fun laugh, but everyone on the outside were like, fucking weirdos.
I mean,
Yeah, it sounds so much fun. I'd love
That's
to
why you
come
should. That's
someday.
why you should come over next year.
I
and
want to.
go to a convention with us. I've already planned to go to Otakon next year, assuming it actually happens. But I want to end this. We've already kind of talked about different convention stories. I want to ask if anyone has any good convention stories, but I want to start with one from when we were at Anime Expo.
Oh, God.
John, do you remember getting drunk as fuck and going out on the dance floor?
No.
I'm sure Sho does because
oh,
he was
yeah,
sober.
I remember.
I don't remember. What did I do?
No, so when we went to Anime Expo in 2017, I'm assuming they still do this now. They have like a day zero, which is the Wednesday before the convention, and it's sort of like a preview day. You can get in and kind of do some shit, but the two of the things that we actually three of the things that we did. First thing, we did the maid cafe because none of us had ever done it before. It was a little awkward,
No,
but
I thought
it
that was
okay.
awkward too. She didn't like any of my jokes. She was like, "Who's your favorite waifu?"
Hey,
and I'm like,
but she was a JoJo fan, and I was okay with this.
I'm like, my favorite waifu is Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh because that Pharaoh went in him, and she was like, "It's not
yeah.
funny."
No.
Next,
Yeah. Yeah, you know what I liked about the bunny cafe though, or the maid cafe, bunny maid cafe.
Just the fact that you were wearing your Opie shirt from One Punch Man and you walked in and all the girls looked at you and went, Opa!
Yeah. No, the guy who was cosplaying as Goblin Slayer. I was like, yo, Goblin Slayer, I read that. And then remember I told
a
you.
guy, and this was before Goblin Slayer got an anime.
Yeah.
Soka.
And that was, I just remember one of the things, because you were telling us throughout the whole convention, it's like, mark my words, in about 8 months, we're going to hear about this getting an anime. And 9 months later, it gets fucking announced.
Fucking told you so, motherfuckers. I called that shit.
But no, so after that, we went to this, like, I don't want to call it like a burlesque show, but it was kind of like a risque dance slash singing slash
there was a
talent
pole dancer.
show.
There was
there was the professional pole dancers there, and there was a lot of alcohol.
It was super fun.
you know, I totally forgot about that until you just mentioned it. Wow, that actually happened.
But it was a lot of alcohol. We started drinking there. It was me and you, John, and Sho, and Tom, and Jason. It was a great time. It's a great time. And then afterwards, we were gonna leave, but then we walked past this part where they were having like a dance rave place where they were selling more alcohol.
Yeah.
We were already a little. I think all of us really were a little tipsy. from the stuff we drank before, but you drag us all in there, John. And this has got this pounding like EDM music that's playing, and we're just drinking. Of course, Sho's just sitting there with his arms crossed, like, I'm not enjoying this.
Dude, oh my god. And then they also have like little live concerts and things to do at night, right, for Anime Expo. And they had Hachioji P, one of my top favorite producers for like Vocaloid music. He was doing a set, and he was doing new music for his new album that was going to drop in like a couple months, and it was the best. Holy shit. Like, oh man.
I'm so happy, John, you took
hold
that
on,
video.
I'm not done with my story.
Oh, keep going.
So John, in a fit of drunkenness, drags both myself and Tom, who neither one of us dance, out onto the dance floor, and you're just forcing us to dance. I'm just kind of going along with it because I'm fucking wasted at this point.
Yo.
And Tom is just stumbling around. And he's like, yeah, I'm fucking enjoying myself.
Yo.
And then when we get after about like an hour and a half in there, I think it's like 1 o'clock in the morning or something. We go back to our hotel room, and Tom, me and you and Sho just lay down on the bed because we're fucking beat. And Tom looks at us before he walks in the bathroom and says, "That was fun," shuts the door, and all we hear is,
oh no.
What? I
don't remember that at all either.
Holy shit.
vomits all over the toilet.
Fuck.
Jesus Christ.
Tom, we miss you.
Oh,
He's a lightweight,
that was a
though.
great time.
So,
I remember asking him, it's like, "Are you okay, Tom?" He says, "Never better."
oh my.
yeah.
I'm
You
so
know?
happy John took a video of like a part of that night, because I remember, John, you uploaded that to the group, and that was a fun moment.
I don't remember any of this.
Yeah, you were. I think because you and Sho were sleeping in the same bed together, and you kept poking Sho like, "Hey Sho, hey Sho," and Sho's like, "Leave me alone."
I don't remember.
Wait,
this.
wasn't in one of the videos John sleeping with you, Alex?
I listen.
John gets around.
I'm gonna look
I
that
get
up
around.
right now.
Sean
a-
sleeps around.
I've got a lot of love to give, man.
And I want to say, there's a lot of great memories I had from that. The other great memory is finding out that Sho talks in his sleep. Because we were watching anime in the hotel room after one of the days. I think it was one of the days that we actually weren't at the convention center. So either before or after. And we'd just been walking around. We come back. We're watching you, John, me, and Tom are just watching anime, and Sho takes a nap. And while we're watching anime, Sho goes, yeah, Beyblade. And then Tom, I miss Tom on the podcast because of his sense of humor. Tom, without missing a beat, goes, "Let it rip."
Oh man.
This is what happens when you go to conventions with me. You get shit like this.
And
That's the way to go, dude.
yeah, man. And this is how we show our support to the industry, by, just being complete degenerates.
And
I
Yuri
just-
absolutely criticizing you.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I will always remember those condescending eyes looking directly at me,
Oh, I wish.
being like, I will come for you.
Yeah, it was
I
her
was- yeah.
first American, like, overseas debut for Miss Monochrome. How dare you not dance to the beat and wave
Yeah.
your little freaking flashing
Listen,
light
I'm
thing?
not that much of a weeb that I'm gonna do a full
Liar.
choreographed, synchronized
Liar.
glow stick dance. I didn't know that this was happening. This was all sudden. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
You just follow the beat. Oh, it's so
my
simple.
God, listen. No.
So, because of what's going on around the world right now, almost every major anime convention has had to be canceled for 2020. I was 100% planning. I'd already booked the plane ticket, the hotel room, everything for Otakon before it got canceled. So I was really bummed that it got canceled this year. I'm hoping that we get our conventions back next year. I'm hoping that the
please.
virus subsides and we actually get to go out and have fun again. One thing I do hope, it was cool that a lot of these conventions did do like virtual events. So it wasn't like they got completely axed, and they still brought in some people from the industry, both in the US and from Japan. So that was cool. I really hope that this doesn't take a huge hit to the convention circuit, and some conventions actually do have to go under because of it, because I do think that it serves an important part, or it serves a nice purpose in our community, these conventions.
I can't imagine these conventions are that profitable. Aren't they like volunteer based?
Yes. A lot of them are, yeah. Not every single one, but there are a lot that are volunteer based. And then like something like Otakon, which is like pretty much completely volunteer based, and it's run by fans. It's not run by a professional organization.
Yeah, I mean, these people are passionate about this.
Yeah, so I don't think they'll go under because of financial reasons. I don't think.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if next year, if they do have a lot of these conventions, there is a huge, maybe not huge, but a noticeable decline in attendance, though.
Yeah, because
maybe and maybe not. I mean, a lot of people wanted to go this year to conventions, and it did happen. So maybe they'll like the reverse of that. Maybe there'll be like a boom of a lot of people going to conventions.
I hope that's the hope that I have that comes out of this. I hope that it comes back stronger next year.
I mean, I think it'll all just depend on who's attending, right? Because a lot of the draw of these conventions are the panels, the guests from Japan, like voice actors and stuff like that, or directors and shit like that, or
musicians.
Like I'm hoping that I'll be able to shake Hachiyoji P's hand again right after he gets out of the bathroom, like a creepy stalker.
No.
No, I just went outside for like a breath of fresh air and to get a drink of water, and then he just walks out of the bathroom. I'm like, oh, Hachiyoji P, nice to meet you. And he's like, oh, domo, and then hand shakes my hand. I'm like, yo! You don't understand, man. I wasn't stalking him.
That urine stained hand.
I'll never watch it again.
Oh, shut up. You guys lined up for autographs for the fucking artist for Food Wars. Get out of here.
I did. I've lined up for several autographs.
He's hot. I don't know why I expect these people to be ugly, but the guy for Food was really hot.
He was very enthralled with my shirt, because when I went to go get my my autograph, I was wearing a Totsuki University shirt, which is the nice. Shirt from the show Food Wars, and he looks at my shirt and he's like, I'm like,
Sugoi.
Yeah.
Sugoi Dekai.
Like, no, Sugoi Dekai. Sugoi Dekai. He had a translator with him, and he said something to his translator. He's like, he wants to know where you got it. I'm like, downstairs, the dealer's room. He's like, well, I gotta go there next.
Well, yeah, because when you're supporting the industry like that, and you meet the creators and they see that you're supporting the industry, like it's happy for everyone, because it's like, oh, look, my art is touching other people as well. Like, hopefully everyone who creates, literally touching other people, but hopefully everyone who creates their content enjoys creating content. And I know that I enjoy creating this podcast and being along for the ride and editing, and I love it when people are in our Discord talk about it and are like, oh, I love the latest episode. I'm just like, thanks, man. You don't know how much that means to me.
Oh no.
I will say, when I met Hiroki Imaishi last year, and he saw my Gridman thing, he sat there and talked to me for like 7-8 minutes about Gridman. It was great.
See, yeah, because it's all the good things in life, man.
Because he and I are both big fans of the original '90s live action show.
And this is why we support the industry, so more awesome people get to meet us, and we could meet them, and we all have good content. And Japan, fucking pay your animators more, damn it.
Oh, please.
Yes, please, because we need more. Well, we don't need more anime. We need better paid animators, though.
Yeah, like
that's
half of the reason they work for these terrible conditions is not only because they need to eat, but they still like doing what they're doing. They like creating content.
They're passionate.
Yeah, they're passionate about it, and it's a shame that they're being exploited by the system.
Yeah, And they're as passionate as we are about the content that we make. I think I'd like to think so, at least.
Oh no, I hate making this
we
content.
we sure aren't doing this podcast for the money. I can tell you that much.
Oh yeah, this is lucrative.
Gotta get that
business.
BL money, boy.
Yaoi money. So if
That
you
yaoi money, give me that yaoi money. Go Sugoi Dekai or go home, bitches.
Oh.
thank you all out there for dropping in and giving us a listen.
I know you gotta go. I know you're up against a hard accent. So thank you all out there for dropping in to listen to us. We hope you enjoyed it because we sure enjoy bringing this stuff to you. If you want to check out previous episodes of the podcast, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, BitChute, SoundCloud, and Spotify. If you want to keep up with what we're doing, you can join us on Discord, Facebook, Twitter, and our website. Shoot us an email if you have any questions or if you have ideas for topics you'd like for us to talk about in the future. Links to all these things will be down below in the description. As always, I have been your host, Alex, and I will see you next time. Say goodnight, everybody.
Say goodnight at what?
What?
Where's
Say goodnight.
I was waiting for someone to do a bit. All right, I'll do the bit.
Good night.
There you go. Dame dane, dame yo, dame nano yo.